Going to do some training with Ambassador Cruise Line, and I want to turn that into a trip planning book. That, but I also think if you really want something, you make that time. That quiche looks amazing. I love the fact though that every single day I have as a work day is never the same. I'd like to share a little bit about how much you can actually make on YouTube. And welcome back to a new vlog. I've deserved this today. I thought I'd have a fun one with you today. I'm doing something really nice, and I was already planning anyway to film a video about just sharing working from home, how I earn a full-time income from home, having built up businesses on my own over the years, creating the freedom to come and go and work the hours that I choose, and just basically how to earn an income from creating your own business. It's something I've been doing now since 2003, and I have had a few businesses over the years, successful businesses, so I thought I would talk about them with you throughout this video and just show you a little bit of like a day in the life kind of thing, how I work from home and what kind of thing I get up to. So I really hope you'll enjoy this one. I hope this gives you a little bit of an insight, and I hope it maybe inspires you as well, because if you're not happy doing what you're doing, life is too short. It really is. If you're not happy, change the way you do things. I've done it many times, and there are other options. So I hope you'll enjoy hanging out with me today. So although I talk about freedom and being able to come and go as I please, I do work long hours. Working for yourself is not for the faint-hearted. It really isn't. I generally start my workday between 5 and 6. I always have done. I did work for an airline previously before working for myself, so I was used to getting up at 3:15 in the morning and then having 2 small children that never slept. So I am a morning person. I don't mind getting up early. So for me, I've always enjoyed getting up early, getting a big chunk of my work done. When the kids were little, I would quite often, I had a wedding business back then, I would quite often get up at sort of 3, 4 in the morning to work, do the school run, and then I would start work again in the evenings when they've gone to bed. But I wanted to make the business work, so I knew I had to put the hours in. And that's exactly what I do with my business now. I'm now in the midst of having a little bit of a change. I've got my full-time business, which I'll chat a bit more about later. But I'm also bringing in a travel business, which I started up about 18 months ago, just under that. And so I'm really putting in the hours again now because I want it to work, and I can see the light at the end of the tunnel, something that I'm working towards. So it's exciting, but I think it's the excitement that keeps you going. It keeps you motivated, and you're working for yourself at the end of the day. So it's not like you're working to fulfill somebody else's dreams, you're working to fulfill your own. So take today, for example, my normal working day. I got up at 5:30. I generally check emails and things when I'm in bed. Sorry, I've just realised I've just got the washing machine on. The joys of working from home. And I always video edit in the mornings. I'm now just working on my travel business a little bit, and in between doing some housework as well. I've worked for myself now for 23 years. I could not imagine now having to go out to work, and it's the flexibility for me. Like now, just being able to quickly sweep the floors whilst I've been already working for a couple of hours. Or I love it when I pop the crock pot on, for example, especially in the winter months when it feels really cozy. I do have to give myself frequent reminders still when I'm feeling like I don't want to do something work-wise, especially when it's admin. I really don't enjoy just sitting at my desk, and I have to remind myself that I do have this flexibility now, and I can sort of choose my hours, and I have to remind myself how grateful I am to be able to do this. But no, I really enjoy this, and I could not imagine now going out to work. And I love how that every single day varies so much. So I'm just catching up with my travel business right now, going through messages, things like that. And I love how the businesses kind of work together. I can kind of swap and choose and just do bits of this and bits of that. It just works really, really well.
Everything is so flexible. And I think also because I am a morning person, I love that I can get up early and really get into my day early as well, and that I'm not having somebody else tell me what hours I need to do.
It's 10:30. I haven't actually eaten yet, so I've just come upstairs with Marmite crumpets and some cheese, and I'm going to be working on my craft desk with my full-time business for the next couple of hours. I have managed to get quite a lot done. I have been working on my monthly kit boxes. We're doing an Alice's Tea Party theme this month. Look how cute. And these kits that I do, I make a monthly Happy Mail kit with creative Happy Mail. I've got some beautiful fabric in here. Make yourself like a little tag book there. We've got ribbon and stickers and all sorts of various things. I've been working on that today, piecing it together because I want to film a video of it tomorrow for my journaling channel. But the idea is they are amazing for not only your everyday journaling, day trips, things like that, but for your travel journals as well. Really, really good. That's what I use mine for. So I've just been finishing up that today so I can film a video on that. I have managed to descale my sinks in the house as well. I'm just kind of flitting between everything. Done a little bit of my travel business, and now, as you can see, I'm changed and sorted, and I'm actually leaving in about 10 minutes to go and get a train to Bristol. I'm going to do some training with Ambassador Cruise Line. I'm very excited. It's actually in a cocktail bar in Bristol. It's a free training session to anyone in our travel business, and we're basically going to be chatting about the cruise line, the company, and what they have to offer, and they're offering us training, and we have a bottomless brunch and cocktail class afterwards as well. So I'm really looking forward to that, meeting up with a couple of others from our team. So it's going to be a really nice thing, but it's a big deal for me because I haven't actually done anything on my own since I was in my 20s. So it feels like a really big thing, stepping out of my comfort zone. But I think when you have your own business and you want to achieve, that's something that you have to do, is step out of your comfort zone and maybe do things sometimes that you wouldn't usually do. So I need to build on my confidence. I know that. I'm very confident at home. Love being in my craft room, the kitchen and all that kind of thing, but I'm not so good out of the house, and that's something I know I need to work on. So I'm going to invite you to come along with me, and we're going to go into Bristol and learn about cruises and have some cocktails. Hopefully it should be fun. By the way, I'll leave details about our travel business down below if it's something that you think excites you and you feel like you would like to be involved in. It's great to make an extra income out of something you love. It never feels like work when you do something you love. You can see what I'm surrounded by. This is my workspace. I love what I do. So despite the fact that I work long hours, although flexible, it doesn't feel like I'm at work because my work is my passion, whether it be my creating, making my trip journals. In case you're new to my channel, by the way, I'll give you a little sneak peek at what I do. Let me just find one. Okay, so here's one that I'm working on at the moment. This is my travel journal, one that I am working on. It's an old Disney book that I've turned into a journal, and then I add my Disney stories to it. I've been doing these for years and I love doing it. I've got a whole community. I have a monthly kit. I teach online classes. I have downloads. So now my passion for travel and my journaling is now also in my travel business as well. So it's very exciting. They're all kind of like linked a little bit, if that makes sense, but it all comes from my love of traveling. So, and my very first job was actually at the British consulate in Dusseldorf, and when I was 17, and after that I worked at Lufthansa for the German airline. So my career started in travel, if that makes sense. Right, I need to get ready and get out the door, but I'll share with you what I can, and then later on I wanted to share with you more about other ways that I've made money just from working at home over the years. My little kit this month. That looks really cute, doesn't it? I can photograph that then tomorrow and do a video with it. Some exciting things to turn into journals as well. I bought this book on Amazon and I want to turn that into a trip planning book, and I've also been meaning to turn this old book that my friend Romy gave me into a trip journal as well. It's ancient, as you can see, I've been meaning to do this for the last couple of months and I still haven't got round to doing it.
So I got on my train. This felt like a huge deal for me. I have not done anything like this. I did meet my daughter in London a few years back now, but that felt a little bit different because she was meeting me off the train and we had a day together. I was just stepping completely out of my comfort zone. It's something I really want to work on my confidence this year, and this was like my first step in doing that. So I was meeting a friend off the train, somebody from our travel business, and she's somebody that I've known online for a long time, so that did sort of make it easier, and we went to the event together. But I was surprised. I wasn't as nervous as I expected, considering I'd never actually taken the train to Bristol before. So the event was held in the Dirty Martini cocktail bar. The building was beautiful, look at that. And we had Prosecco when we arrived, which was amazing. It was a really fun place, really interesting actually, and such a good way to learn. I just absorbed so much information, and I'm usually terrible at remembering things. But to sit around with a whole load of other people that love travel as well, and just to have information shared, drink cocktails, and it was just a really nice way to learn things. And I've decided that more things should be learned this way. It definitely makes it easier. And then afterwards we were given our bottomless drinks menu, which was very nice. We had an hour and a half, and then we enjoyed the food. We had some food brought around as well, and then we were doing some cocktail making, which was really fun. You know how much we love our cocktails, so I was really looking forward to doing this actually. And it made me realise when I was stood behind a bar how short I actually am. But no, really enjoyed this, and it just made me realise that I need to get out and about and do more things on my own. It's so easy just to stay what you're comfortable with, isn't it? And for me, that's being at home. I love being at home, and when I'm not at home, I'm out with Aid, and I do very little on my own. But let me know if you're in a similar situation. Do you feel that you don't step out of your comfort zone? Are you also a home person? Do you tend to do everything with your partner as well? And it's really difficult to break away from that. So if you are in that similar situation, I really understand. But this year, like I said, I want it to be a bit more about me and to start building my confidence in other areas other than feeling confident at home in my kitchen. I kind of want to spread my wings a little bit because I never used to be like this. When I was younger, like in my 20s, I would drive anywhere. Somebody asked me the question actually recently, do I drive? I do, I have a driving license, but I just haven't driven for a few years. Again, it's just, I've just completely lost confidence, and it's something I'm really fearful of, and it's a horrible feeling. As it is, we make a great team because Aid is absolutely useless with directions, even with the maps on, sat nav. And I'm really good with directions, so he loves driving, I like directing, so in that way we're really good. But obviously I've lost my independence though, and I rely on him, so I know it's something I need to work on, and I can't be like this forever. So this is my first step forward in trying to sort of like build on my confidence a little bit. But if you are the same as me, please let me know, please leave a comment, and maybe it's something we can work on together this year. And I was making cocktails with Charlotte. Charlotte is somebody that hugely inspires me. I love what she's done with her family and how she's travelled with them, and she's taught overseas. I really admire her. She's definitely stepped out of her comfort zone, that's for sure. And then I got the train back, and Aid was there to meet me at the station. So I was very proud of myself today. It felt like a huge achievement. Good morning. This vlog is turning out to be a real hickledy-pickledy vlog. This is actually a little bit later, quite a few days later in fact. And I'm picking back up again. I'm having a real juggle day today of just doing a little bit of everything. I'm actually taking a break from work at the moment to make a quiche. We are having somebody from our travel team come and visit today.
very, very excited. Helen and Steve actually live in Norfolk, and they're actually having a little weekend away, and they're not too far from us, so they're going to pop in later, sort of like tea time type thing. So Ade's just gone out to pick up some bread and some pretzels and things, and I'm going to make a quiche, and we're just going to have like a picky tea on the table. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. I need to then go and film an online class. I'm going to be doing that in a moment as well. So I'm just feeling like a little bit all over the place. I love the fact though that every single day I have as a work day is never the same. It varies so much every single day. I try and remind myself quite frequently how lucky I am to have a job that I love. Because sometimes I think you can just find jobs you can like feel like, oh, like for me, I don't really want to film this online class. And then I forget, and I have to remind myself of the days when I was doing a job that I didn't want to be doing and would have done anything to have been crafting at home for a full-time living. So I really, really have to remind myself of that. And it's silly because the jobs that I don't want to do, the ones that I hate the most, are admin jobs. Things like updating my website, adding things to my website. I used to be so good. Every month I would add extra bits and pieces to the kits, not to the kits, to my website, on my online store, and I hate it. I find it so boring. I think because I'm a doing person, sat at a desk isn't my thing at all. Although saying that, I love editing videos. But I guess that's more of a creative thing. But I just find it really, really dull. And they're the kind of things I put off, that I have to remind myself that I'm so lucky to work at home, and that the boring jobs are actually, years ago, if somebody would have told me that would have been my job, I would have been so grateful. So I do have to give myself a reality check every now and then. Or when I moan that, because I don't always want to get up at 5:30 every morning to edit, but then I have to remind myself I would much rather that I'm sat in my office, in my house, in my pajamas, drinking coffee, earning a living, and I'm not having to leave the house. So I have to remind myself quite often how lucky I am. Right, I've got my cheese grated. Let's make a quiche. What's 375?
Sorry, I didn't catch that. Could you repeat your calculation?
What is 375 Fahrenheit in centigrade?
375 is about 190.56 degrees Celsius.
Thank you.
I think the message I want to send out in today's vlog is really that it's important to do more of what you love. I love being in the kitchen. I love doing that so much. I love crafting, and I've been so fortunate that I have been able to turn things that I love into a business. But have a think about it, and the things that you love, the things that you're good at, are you able to make a living out of those things? We all have skills at the end of the day that other people don't, and can you, if you wanted to, turn that into a living? But I would love for you to comment down below and tell me what you love doing. Is that exercising? Is it cooking? Is it crafting? What do you love doing? Going to the cinema, reading, and what would you love to do more of? Leave your comments down below. It'd be really, really interesting to see.
I want to bake a cake as well. I felt so proud of myself, by the way, for completely stepping out of my comfort zone and going to the event. It felt like a huge deal, and I know to a lot of people it probably is nothing, but when you're not used to doing things on your own, it's really hard, and I think you find your little comfort zones. I think it's the same with everything, isn't it? You get used to doing what you're familiar with, and I think that's why also it's so easy to stay in a job that you're not necessarily happy with, because it's a comfort zone. I guess relationships are the same. You could potentially not be happy with somebody, but it's that comfort, isn't it? You know what to expect, and I guess that is the thing with stepping out of your comfort zone. It's because you don't know what to expect, and that's the difficult thing. So it's the same no matter what you're starting new. And I think it's a brave thing to be able to do that and do something different. I'm also wanting to make an apple cake as well. I haven't made one before, this particular one. It's a German apple cake, so I thought that sounded really nice. And I've got some apples that I wanted to use. We got free apples in Lidl on the app this week, and we already had some apples anyway. So that is the perfect time to use them up. And that's the recipe that I want to try. So all being well, I will link it down below for you. This cake sounds really nice. And I do love an apple cake. I also love the flexibility into it. Being able to just stop work and just quickly bake a cake. I like doing that.
When your life's been put on hold for far too long, when the sorrow and despair is growing strong, there is always something good to be obtained from breaking loose and leave the things that kept you chained. So when you find the strength to really shed your skin, all you really need to do is search within.
So some of the other jobs that I've done, which have always been around small kids. I started my first business when our youngest was 18 months and Holly was 3. So I think whenever people say they don't have time, I completely understand that, but I also think if you really want something, you make that time. So I started off by making handmade cards. That was my hobby anyway. And I started selling them. I was very inspired by all the things like Osborne books. And funnily enough, I did try my hand at Osborne books as well. Actually, that was probably my very first little bit of self-employment thinking about it, because that was before I even had Louis. I was pregnant with Louis at the time. I'm just double checking. Peel and slice apples, place on top of cake batter, overlapping and pressing down into the cake slightly. Okay, I just checked then. I was chatting and forgot what I was doing. And I've sliced the cake. Slice is wrong. So that was probably my first experience, Osborne books. I wasn't very good at it though, because I just kept buying books. So I didn't really make any money. But then I was very inspired, you know, especially when you're a mum. I don't know if it's the case. Do people still do all the parties? Like I would do the Virgin V, obviously they're not around, but just all the home parties. I did a lot, went to a lot of Pampered Chef. I've got a lot of this is still Pampered Chef and back in those days. I think these might even be still. I don't know. I've got a lot of the stuff. There was a lot of home parties. Good old Ann Summers, that was from back then as well. There was just a little bit of everything, wasn't there? There was always something. And that kind of inspired me, and I started doing my own home parties, but with cards. So I'd make cards, do gift bags. I used to like personalize them and just decorate them, and do then photo albums as well. And then I started doing a lot of craft fairs, and people started asking me if I made wedding stationery, which I didn't. And then it got me thinking. I was selling cards for like £3 a card, £2 a card, and I just thought, if I did wedding stationery, I would possibly be making up to 100 at a time. And the little sort of like light bulb moment happened, and I started my business, and it took off straight away. And I just ran it from my garage, actually. Funky Fairies, that business started from inside my garage. And I loved it. I loved it so much. I did really, really well. And I had about 8 people working for me at one point, and we converted our old garage then into my old studio space. So the business did really, really well. And I was very proud of that business actually, but it kind of had its time, and I had it for 13 years. And working with brides is hard work. Working with brides' mums is even harder. So it wasn't always enjoyable, I have to say, was it?
Nope.
It was very stressful, but it was a good living, and yeah, it was all right, wasn't it? And it meant that I could work from home around the kids, so I never had to worry about, obviously, childcare or anything like that. I did in the early days. Louis went to a childminder when the business took off, a few mornings a week up until sort of like preschool kicked in and that. But and I guess thinking about it, thinking back to like my Osborne book days, and I remember like people selling Avon and all that. That was like, I guess, my first experience of network marketing then as well. And it's funny because a lot of people really disapprove of network marketing, but people don't disapprove or seem to disapprove of people selling Osborne books or Avon knocking on your door. And I remember like the pampered chef kind of thing, but I remember from speaking to friends doing all that kind of thing, they have a lot of targets, and there's a lot of pressure put on them to sell. Whereas that's what I like about this travel business. There is no pressure at all. Even if you don't want to sell anything, you just want to use it for yourself. The quiche is done. You can. That quiche looks amazing. I bet it won't stay risen like that. And I think that's what I like about this. It feels like a friendly version of doing it. The no targets, no deadlines, and if you just want to use it for booking your own travel and your own perks, you don't even have to get involved with the network marketing side. It's just a travel agency. There's two parts of the business. With regards to the other side, it's no different to recommending something. It's like my green sofas. How many times have I shared the green sofas? We bought them with our own money, and we are so happy with them. We share that link all the time. That company has nothing to do with us. We don't get compensated for the videos or talking about them, but we recommend them all the time. And I know of other people that have gone on and used our link and bought them because we recommended. But the only difference is obviously with what we're doing now, you get rewarded for sharing. So yeah. Oh, this cake is looking really nice. We're gonna pop some sugar over the top. Yeah, so then obviously after the wedding business, then I started up Lollipop, which is my full-time business right now, which I've spoken about on here before, and I absolutely love that business. I really do. But I'm really enjoying the travel business as well, and I feel like the travel business is the one that's pushing me out of my comfort zone now, and I think it's good for me. Plus the perks are amazing. Right, this little cake needs to go in the oven. I have just filmed my online class. I'm really pleased with it actually. We are making little strawberry toppers and turning them into pockets, like conversation pockets. So this one I am making a little telephone conversation pocket, and this one is a sweet memory pocket. There. I love doing things like this. It's so cute. Just a 15-minute class, and it will be going online next week. I love doing online classes and helping other people and inspiring them and helping them to tell all their stories and things. I think for me it's just so precious. So to be able to help other people do it as well just feels really special. I thought of another something as well, another little business I was doing when I was much younger, and that was buying secondhand and selling it on as well. That was really fun. I remember doing that for a while, like when the kids were younger, in the early days of eBay and that. So I thought that was really fun. I was also going to chat to you about YouTube actually, because obviously that's an extra income that I also earn, and also like share a little bit about how much you can actually make on YouTube. It varies depending on what content you have. It's not just a standard pay, so you would never easily be able to work out how much somebody earns. But for example, my journaling channel, which is my absolute favorite, earns the least amount, and you can see how much you generally earn. It shows you per 1,000 views, and that for me is half of what my other channels are, because I guess they don't pay the advertisers as much. So if you've got a tech channel, for example, if you showcase technology, iPads, phones, cameras, or that kind of thing, you get paid a lot more money per your 1,000 views. So I'm sort of like down the bottom really. My vlog, it's okay, and our Disney is sort of okay, but it's a little bit more than obviously our journaling channel. Obviously it also depends on how long your videos are. The longer people watch, the more you earn. So when I do like my short little videos for journaling, they usually get around £3 a video, so it's not very much at all. I'm lucky if I get £100 a month from my journaling channel. And my Lisa channel, that one generally is about £200. When we were moving, that was when it was at its best, and that was about 300. But yeah, sometimes it can be, the journaling channel can be as low as 30 odd. My other channel can be as low as about 100, and the travel channel goes up and down as well. Obviously it's a little bit better at the moment because we've just gone on holiday, but the videos then get less and less views. But like just before we went on holiday, it was about 50 quid a month. So as you can tell, it's not a big money maker, especially for the amount of time that we put in. For example, I edited a video. I was so happy with it. Our Wyndham's video doing like this was on our Disney channel, our travel channel, doing a review and a tour of our hotel. It's a 16-minute video, and it took me over 3 hours to edit. It was a really long one for 16 minutes, and obviously all the time it's taken to film the video as well. So yeah, it's a hard slog. I think unless you've got an absolutely massive channel, a channel like mine, you do it because you love it and it's fun. The other thing for me as well though, it kind of like brings in business for my journaling channel. It brings in like people that maybe then buy my monthly kits or buy off my website, or even come onto Patreon for my online classes and things like that. So for me, it's my hobby. I love it. It's my passion. But obviously I don't make a living off the YouTube, but off the videos I mean, but I do obviously from it's like a funnel. I remember hearing it described as your funnel. It brings in sort of people, if that makes sense. So I hope that makes sense anyway. I'm gonna go and get ready now and get ready for when Helen and Steve come. I'd love to hear actually, was that more or less than what you expected? Here's the quiche. What I did was really built up the pastry so that it was nice and high, because if you do it exact, it shrinks down. I learned the hard way. And then I just cut the top when it's nice and cold. So I'm pleased with that. I've got baguettes, we've got some pretzels as well, and then I've got a couple of little bits I've made in the fridge. Such a difference when you sprinkle a bit of icing sugar on a cake. We had such a lovely evening. I've just got a couple of slices of the cake left now. We had it with ice cream. It was so delicious. I love the way that just the apple sits on the top. So like the cake kind of like goes up around it. Really recommend this. I'll leave the recipe down below. There's just a couple of slices left, so we're gonna have those now. I just want to say thank you though for watching. This video was kind of like filmed over a bit of a period of time in the end. I didn't intentionally do it like that. It just kind of happened. But I really hope it's maybe inspired you, even if it's not like job-wise, but maybe just hobby-wise. If there's something you really love doing, try and make the time to do it. If it's just picking up a book more, going for more walks, if you love, I don't know, gardening, arts, crafts, anything like that. If it's something you really love, I really encourage you to try and make time for. But I know that's not always easy. But thank you very much for watching. I hope this has given you a little bit of an insight and hopefully maybe inspired and motivated you. I'd love to hear. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.